Welcome everybody to look at a new Eureka release, and it is 1987's Flaming Brothers. So this is directed by Cho Chong, who I've not seen anything else from before, but it is a crime action film, clocking in at 102 minutes long. Stars the likes of Chow Yun-fat, who I've seen in at least 15 other films. I suspect we'll be talking about him a lot in the future, as the likes of Hard Boiled and The Killer, which are two of my favourites from him, are likely to be getting 4K releases soon. But he was also really rather good in the likes of The Seventh Curse and Wild Search. So, two blood brothers who have grown up on the streets of Macau are bound together by a special code of honour. However, this bond ultimately leads them into brutal conflict when a ruthless gangster threatens to take away everything that they have worked for. So, there's plenty to like about this, but unfortunately, it is severely hampered by its attempts at comedy. This is because it is not only unfunny, but also tonally incompatible with the rest of the film, which definitely becomes darker and more violent as it progresses. That said, the cast is really good, the pacing is on point, the production is solid, it is generally engaging, and its latter half is a definite improvement over the first half, as the comedy becomes a less prevalent part of the plot. Where this both excels and weirdly also is a slight disappointment is when it comes to the action, as it certainly has all the hallmarks of a film from of this type from this period in film, with its plentiful body count and numerous bloody squibs. But for whatever reason, it doesn't hit quite as hard as some of its contemporaries. You know, you look at the likes of Hard Boiled and The Killer, they just have that kind of more hard hitting action. I'm not sure whether or not it's the sound design in this, because a lot of the gun sounds do sound really rather quite similar, or whether or not it is because it primarily is just people getting shot. There is a couple of car crashes and a few explosions here or there, but it isn't really as I guess you could say, balletic as the likes of Hard Boiled or The Killer. But still, that aspect is still real fun, and was certainly the highlight for me outside of the two lead casts. Unfortunately, I've not seen anything from Alan Tang before, so I can't really talk about his film career, but hopefully I'll see more from him in the future. So, yeah, we do have uh, new artwork by Time Tomorrow for this limited edition O card slipcase, and yeah, pretty decent. Uh, then we have the original artwork for the case itself, and then we have the disc, which has the new artwork on it, with a shot from the film behind. But I won't show that just to hide any spoilers. We also have a booklet with this release as well, with a couple of shots from the film within, or on top even. And inside the booklet, we have cast and crew. Then we have Hong Kong Godfathers, A Brief History of Heroic Bloodshed by Camille Zorin. So yeah, it definitely is within the heroic bloodshed genre, you know, like A Better Tomorrow 1 and 2. We have obviously had plenty of other films from Eureka that have been within that genre as well, you know, like the what are we calling them? I'm completely not seeing them right now. I'm forgetting. I know they've got a couple with Chow and Fat in it as well. Yeah, Rich and Famous and Tragic Hero. Yeah, I'm just seeing them now on my massive amount of film shelving. Um, but yeah, but I like several other Chow Yun Fat films from the 80s. It is a little bit underwhelming in certain regards. It's hard with his films because the likes of Wild Search, Hard Boiled, The Killer are all excellent, but there are other ones that are a little bit less so. And there are shots from the film within as well, so you know, numerous people with numerous amounts of guns on the go. And that write up takes up the majority of this booklet, which I'm sure goes really rather nicely in depth. And then you got viewing notes, so it's presented in 185:1 aspect ratio, and then you got special notes and release credits as well. So yeah, looks like a decent little booklet there. And then on the disc itself, we've got a 1080p presentation on Blu-ray from a 2K restoration. Looks really, really good. I watched it in the English dub, so typical English dub, it doesn't sound like all that much effort has been put into it, and you can tell that they didn't really care because the one song in it is entirely in Cantonese, and yeah, therefore has the subtitles on it. So you know they really weren't trying all that much, but it does also have the original Cantonese audio. You've also got optional English subtitles, newly translated for this release, and then you've got new audio commentary by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arnie Venema, and then you got new video locations piece by CFK, archival interview with the director, and then you got the original theatrical trailer as well. So yeah, the 2K restoration looks pretty good, but then again, I have nothing to compare it to. I never saw this on VHS or DVD or anything like that, so I imagine it does look better than those formats, but how much better or whether or not there's any room for improvement, I'm not sure. But yeah, still looks good. No issues at all with the image quality at all. Nothing that was egregious or blatantly obvious. So yeah, no issues at all in that regard. It's just a film itself, which yeah, it's just a little bit tonally inconsistent. That first half with it being primarily focused on comedy and such really didn't hit as well as I was hoping it would. But it definitely picks up in its second half, and there is some solid characterization throughout, and the character interactions are decent as well in certain areas. But yeah, it's generally the second half and the action that are the highlights for this film. So it gets a 3.5 out of 5. I know some people have been a bit more harsh on it than I have, but it takes a lot to annoy me when it comes to watching films, to be honest. So yeah, you know full well if I'm giving a film less than 3 out of 5 that I have truly been annoyed by it in some regard. So yeah, but that's not the case for this, and not by any in any kind of massive way as well. It's far and away above 3 stars. It's just not quite as good as some of the other films from Chow Yun Fat. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, let me hear your thoughts on it. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.